What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics here for the Sunday Week in Review. Couple news things, bunch of card charts. Pulled a bunch today. Biggest news thing of the week, obviously, Topps. Fanatics swooped in, closed the deal just like every talking head on the internet predicted, myself included. I just think it happened a lot faster than any of us realized that it would. Pretty much everyone thought that this was going to happen. It was a matter of when, not if. I don't think anyone expected it to happen 2 days into the new year. And now everyone holds their breath and waits for the next domino to fall. People are speculating Upper Deck, Panini. You know, what's next? Something has to be next. The general word on the street throughout the week, and we didn't have all these details when this news first busted. It seems to be Upper Deck is probably a pipe dream at this point anyways. The way that company is structured and held, it's in a trust, it's family owned, and I guess there's some complexities to selling it anytime soon. So that probably puts a dent in that pipe dream, at least for the time being. Maybe one day in the future it could happen, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, just based off of people that know a lot more than me are talking about on the internet. Panini's the interesting one. Will they? Won't they? They don't really need to. They still have the licenses for a few years for basketball and football before, they transfer over to Fanatics. Plus, they have other stuff. They have WWE now, which is a relatively big license. They have some soccer stuff. They have a few other things, UFC, and some other shenanigans. So they're not as desperate as Topps was, I don't believe, to sell. Plus, they have the European sticker business, a whole bunch of shenanigans. I think Panini ends up not selling, but I still think we may see some sort of licensing deal where Fanatics picks up some of the brand names of the card sets that we have come to know and love during the Panini era. We'll see. Maybe they end up buying them completely. I don't know. I would like to see them move into that space as soon as possible. Maybe buy them out early of their NFL and NBA licenses, pick up their various brands, or maybe you could just purchase Panini America. I don't know. I just want to see them get in the space as fast as possible. I see what Panini's doing between the printing, the release schedules, all this stuff, and I just want it to stop as fast as humanly possible and get someone new in there. Maybe Fanatics come. A lot of us are saying bring Fanatics in. It's the greatest thing for sports cards. And we might be right. We might be wrong. Maybe they come in and ruin it. I don't think that they do, but I mean, it's an outcome. If you're looking at the flow chart, there's a on the outcome tree or whatever, there's a line that goes to that Panini destroys it. Or I'm sorry, that Fanatics destroys it. But I think we're just all looking at what Panini is currently doing to the sports card world with the printing and the parallels and the 75 different 101s and select and just all this stuff. And we just want them gone before they do more damage than they possibly can. So we'll see what happens. That was really the biggest news thing, in my opinion. I guess a couple other little things that happened. 2021 Hoops came out this week, so we finally have rookie cards, NBA rookie cards with current prospects on them. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk about basketball. Another big thing was not big, but I did a video on it on Friday, I think. Or Saturday, I don't remember. The Panini delays. NFL Prism got pushed back to March. And a lot of other stuff got pushed back too. That wasn't just basketball or football, Prism football. That was the biggest one. The other one is I joked about this in that video on Friday, and then I realized it hasn't actually come out yet. We don't even have LaMelo Ball Flawless Basketball yet. It has not released yet. We have Hoops. We have Evan Mobley and Cade Cunningham rookies. But we still have more LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards product coming in the form of Flawless. One of their top 2 sets still has not released. It comes out on the 26th of January. So we have a couple weeks until it comes out. That'll be, I believe, the final release of the LaMelo Ball era. Thank God. It's baffling to me that they're this far off schedule on this stuff. They really need to trim the fat, but I don't think they will. We'll see what happens. Last piece of news, and this will kind of lead into the main show today. My Slabs announced they hit 40,000 users, sponsor of today's video. But up to 40,000 users now, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know what that compares to everything else. Like, obviously it's not as big as eBay, but like compared to a PWCC or an Alt or a Golden or something like that, or some of these other marketplaces. But 40,000 users, nothing to shake a stick at. So that is exciting to see for them. Actually made a purchase on My Slabs this week. Earlier this week. I got it today. Came in the mail today on Saturday. Yeah, made a My Slabs purchase. That will be coming to a mail day video to you on Tuesday, probably. That reminds me. The other big thing that I want to talk about, but I'm saving it for this will be tomorrow's video. Assuming a couple things. Monday's video will be GemRate calculated some absolutely outstanding data on the various different grading companies and their gem rates across PSA, BGS, SGC, broke it down by year, just a bunch of amazing stuff. People have been running rampant with that data. I wanted to, you could use the numbers to spin any way that you like. I wanted to go a little next level at it, so I talk to GemRate frequently. I put a request in for some additional data. He's running that for me. I should have it by Sunday to record that video for Monday. So Monday's video, get hyped now. Get your pitchforks and torches ready. We're going to do, it'll probably be called something like Grading the Graders. And I'm going to dig into that GemRate data and give some thoughts on it. Because I think, so people are making some assumptions about that data and they're not thinking another level down. I don't know if you've seen it yet or not, but once again, we'll talk about it in tomorrow's video. So I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole there. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I pulled it up really quick here. Once again, I'm not going to do a deep dive on this. I'm going to save it till I get more information from GemRate. But these are the gem rates across the various companies by era, percentage of items graded. There's a bunch of interesting stuff in here. And like I said, I want to take it a level deeper because people are just looking at this surface level data and going like, oh, they're the easiest. Oh, they're the hardest. Oh, this, that, and the other thing. And there's way more to it than that. So sneak peek for Monday's video. Once again, sharpen your pitchforks, get your torches ready, stock up on oil, maybe some tin foil. With all that being said, let's hear a quick word from friend of the channel, MySlabs.com, home of 1% seller fees, plus some PayPal goods and services. You can get outstanding deals over there. I got a fantastic deal on something this past week. I showed it yesterday on the live stream towards the very, very end. But it'll be in a mail day video, probably coming out on Tuesday. Most likely that video is already recorded. Just not sure when it's going up yet. So quick word from our sponsor, and then let's dive into some charts and graphs.
Tired of paying 10%, 15%, or more to sell your cards, comics, and digital collectibles? How does 1% sound? Too good to be true? Well, not anymore. MySlabs.com is the web's premier user-driven marketplace for buying and selling slabbed cards, sealed wax, and now slabbed comics and digital collectibles. So the next time you're forced to pay 10% or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com and join the 1% revolution.
Once again, thanks to our friends over at MySlabs.com. Let's go ahead and dive into market movers. Link in the description down below. Coupon code. You guys and girls know the drill. Like button, subscribe, all that stuff. First up, football, and this will be quick. Guess what? Joe Burrow stuff is going up. He has been balling out the last 2 weeks. Very curious to see what he does in the playoffs. I would love for them to get bounced in the first round in ugly fashion and then buy a Joe Burrow dip. Missed my window. It is what it is. What are you going to do? I will potentially look for an opportunity to buy in later, but I'm definitely not buying in now. Could it go next level from here? Yes, it could. Maybe they make a deep run to the AFC Championship game. Think Juan Soto-like. Wins a couple games, has monster numbers. Him and Jamar Chase keep going off, and then his prices will probably just never dip in the offseason. And I will have missed my window, and it is what it is. Sometimes you miss. I'm not going to force it. If an opportunity presents itself, I'll make a move. If it doesn't, you shrug your shoulders, you move on, you look for the next card to buy. But Burrow's stuff is on fire. Last 14 days, he's by far dominating the football market. Silver Prism PSA 10 up 12%. Little deceiving on that one. One sold, it dipped down, and then it skyrocketed from there. And once again, I went back about 2 weeks, so it captures his 400-yard or 500-yard 4-touchdown game, and then his game against the Browns as well. His Prism base is up to $400, up 68%. Prism Silver PSA 9 up 60%. PSA 9 base up 30%. And once again, this Silver Prism, depending on where you put these endpoints, this could easily be up 12% or be up 50 or 60%. So, it kind of is what it is there. But that's fine. Burrow, absolutely on fire. Another one of his cards that went way up, and only 2 of these sold. But to me, this is one of my favorite cards in football. If there was a player that I really, really liked, this is the card that I would go after. I think these are stunning. I really wanted one of these of Rest in Peace Baker Mayfield for a really long time. I could never track one down. Guess what? I could probably find one now. Let me go look under a drink somewhere. PSA 10 Optic Autos. These things are numbered. They look stunning. They're on card, and they are ridiculously tough grades. This Burrow is a PSA 10. It is a Pop 10. And I don't expect a ton of these to show up on the Pop Report. These are really, really tough grades and just fantastic looking cards. It's one of my favorite football cards of the modern era are these Optic rated rookie autos. One of these sold for $2,000 on the 31st, and then the next one sold for $3,000 a couple days later. So a nice 50% increase, up $1,000. Not surprised by this at all. Once again, his stuff is absolutely insane right now. But the biggest reason why I usually don't pull cards when there's only 2 sales or really low pop cards like this, but these cards are just absolutely fantastic looking. Here's a better looking picture of one. The Market Movers photos do not do these cards justice. They're not flashy. They're just very clean. Just a fantastic, clean looking card. I just love these cards. Once again, always wanted one of these at Baker. Maybe I'll circle back and get one if the Browns actually keep them, but I doubt that they do. Just a gorgeous card. I understand why this gets all the love. Wonderful card. If you're a fan of a player, recommend going for it. The only other football thing, 2 other football things really quick. Mac Jones. The fabled Mac Jones Donruss PSA 10. Looks like it may have finally flattened out. This is 14 days worth of data. It's only down 12%, and it actually looks like it hit a bottom and slowly started coming back up again. It bottomed out at $200. It seems to have settled in at about $250, which feels still high for that card, but I get it. He played pretty well this past week, so I'm guessing it's getting a bump from that. And the pop report has also slowed down. The last 7 days, 63 have been added, which sounds like a lot. But, on a card like this, there'll be thousands. So we'll see where this goes from here, but it feels like it has hit the bottom and maybe be on a slight bounce up from here. Last football one to talk about, Aaron Rodgers, 2005 Topps Chrome PSA 10. This had a nice little run up this week, up 18%, $899 increase from 4.8K to 5.8K. That's it for football. Like I said, mostly Burrow related. Let's hop over to basketball, and then we'll close with baseball. 2021 NBA hoops. The man, the myth, the legend, Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, Josh Giddey, and a host of others. First cards with NBA rookies. I was curious to see who is leading the pack. These raw are going for about $20. This is Cade going for 20. And Evan Mobley also going for about 20. So these two are neck and neck with each other. Very curious to see how this levels out. I'm using this as a preview of things to come in regards to who is going to be the guy people are chasing from this. It is surprising to me that Mobley, though getting a lot of buzz, is staying this close to Cade, given that Mobley is a big and bigs just usually don't get the love. And Cade has actually been playing pretty good lately. Giddey's is going for about $15. And once again, these prices will be outdated in like 24 hours. This stuff's going to keep coming down. I'll be curious to see how the autos do. But it seems to be those three. Cade and Mobley basically tied. Then, I forgot, Scotty Barnes a little bit behind those two. And then Giddey a little bit behind them. Those are your top 4, it seems to be price-wise. And then a lot of people mix and match together around that $10 level. Once again, I'm not drawing tons of conclusions from this. You're not running out to buy this stuff, but I am very curious from how this kind of sets the market for which guys people are chasing when we actually get real product in 2024. So when Evan Mobley Prism comes out in 2024 and Mobley Flawless comes out in 2025, I'll be curious to see who people are chasing. But yeah, early data here. I'll keep an eye on this, see how things go. If one of these guys has a big game, does this stuff shoot off? The other thing I'll be very curious about is in a month from now, who's going to be the first one selling overpriced PSA 10 NBA Hoops cards? Because we all know it's going to happen. I can guarantee you right now, these cards are already on the way. Next day air, USPS, FedEx, Armed Guard, to PSA express level, maybe even super express level service. I wouldn't be surprised to get these things back as fast as possible and try to churn and burn a couple of these things right off the get. You know that is happening. It's dumb. People will pay it and the prices will crash, but you know it's happening. I'll be fascinated to watch the population reports on these and see how quickly some pop up. So basketball wise, moving into some other stuff, kind of a lot of stuff to talk about today. Darius Garland continues to play fantastically. I took a little bit of a long view on him. This is his 60 days worth of data. I was just curious, kind of going back more towards the beginning of the season. Not exactly the beginning of the season, but pretty close. He is one of the players that has performed the best since the season started price-wise, and it's really not even close, to be quite honest, in terms of up, down, all around. Optic Hollow up 56%, PSA 10 and PSA 9. PSA 9's up 60. Silver up 30% with the Silver 9 at 10%. The thing that was interesting to me here is the Silver 9 lagging behind a little bit at only $60 when that's only gone up 10%, when the Silver's gone up 30%. And you can see here on the Hollow, they've moved up the same percentage place. There could be an interesting, I mean, once again, we're talking small margins here. But an interesting buying opportunity if you could find these for $50 or $60. It's probably a little too cheap. This card should probably be closer to $80 or $90, give or take. And then the Optic Hollow at $40 seems very reasonable if you're just a Garland collector. You know, I'm not expecting this thing to go to the moon or anything, but I've been looking at a lot of Darius Garland stuff. Kill me, Northeast Ohio Sports Cards. What are you going to do? You know, gotta rep the home squad. KD Topps Chrome, another card I've been fascinated by. I do not own any of these. I always talk about it, that I want one, but I've never gotten around to it. And he's playing extremely well, and this card continues to slowly go down. This is a 14-day chart looking back at 2 weeks worth of data. PSA 10 Topps Chrome down 10%. PSA 9 actually up slightly at 8%, 850 to the PSA 10 at under 3K now on this. Just surprising to see this card continuing to creep down. Relatively low pop, only just under 1,000 of these in a PSA 10. These things aren't growing on trees. These are very tough grades, very tough surfaces, and very tough centering. Having had a couple of these raw before back in the day. Once again, just interesting that his stuff continues to slowly creep down. I'll be curious to see. I didn't look at it this week, but next week I'll probably take a peek at maybe LeBron stuff, because LeBron has been playing out of his mind the last week or so. He looks revitalized. He is putting up monster numbers this past week. He looks really good. Luka, big old Luka, back from COVID health and safety protocols. Had a little bit of an ankle injury as well, but he popped back from that. You know, I'm a little hesitant on this one. His PSA 10 is showing up 12% from 3K to 3.5K. It's based off one sale. I went and looked at it. It was through one of the big consigners. And the bidding looks normal. It doesn't appear that there's any shenanigans going on with the bidding on that one. Not saying that there couldn't be, but like all the feedback looks good. Like it's very high feedback winners on that. And there's not any that I could find listed on eBay cheaper than what that one sold for. So it seems okay-ish. And a $400 jump on a $3,000, $3,100 card isn't like insane. But I did do some due diligence there just to make sure that this wasn't an outlier. And I also looked at PSA 9s. Just no PSA 9s have sold since. But these have gotten down to about $800, give or take. Now, actually, it looks like a pretty decent deal there for a PSA 9 Silver Luka, depending on what he does the rest of the year. But the PSA 10, anyways, got a little bump. We'll see once the next PSA 9 sells. Does it end up over this $800 mark and move in concert with the PSA 10, or does it take a little longer? Or is this end up being a one-off? You know, if we look at this chart next week, how does that look? So Just wanted to throw that out there. And then speaking of absolutely insane players, Ja Morant just continues to decimate the league. He has been on freaking fire lately. And his card prices, are creeping back up again. Once again, we did a 30-day chart here. Over the last 30 days, he's up 16%, almost to $1,500, $1,498. I threw Zion on here too, just for the old comparison factor. Zion over the last 30 days is down 26%, down to 1660. So these two lines continue to get closer and closer together. And we will see, does Ja Silver jump the Zion Silver sometime soon here? If Ja keeps playing the way that he is, I think so. There was that weird Zion story this week where they sent him to Oregon to finish his rehab or to keep rehabbing, so that you got to assume Nike. That just seems weird to me. I don't know. Just seems a little strange. Is that Zion's camp that did that? I'm sure the Pelicans don't like that. Usually the teams do not like when these guys rehab away from the team. So we'll see what comes out of that. There's supposed to be an update in a couple weeks. And then we'll just kind of go from there on that. I will be very curious. By the time we get comments down below, by the time we get the next Zion health update, will the Ja Silver Prism have jumped the Zion PSA 10? That's your question down below. That's basketball. Basketball's actually, I was surprised. Things looked not as bad the last week or two in regards to the market. A little less big red numbers and more very small red numbers to some slight green numbers. I hesitate to speculate that we may have hit the bottom, or we're hitting the bottom on this ultra-modern NBA freefall that we've been in for a while now. I need to do a bigger deep dive on it, but I saw some semi-encouraging signs. I'll leave it at that. At a very surface level glance. I'm not sitting here upon, the card thrown upon high, decreeing that we're back, baby. It's not going to work like that anymore. But it was just interesting to see that it looks like maybe on some stuff we've, hit the bottom. I don't know. We'll see. If I have time, I'll do a little deeper dive on that. Moving over to baseball really quickly. And what I did for baseball, because there's really just not much happening besides some Soto stuff, I just pulled a couple key players and I just looked at a few of their cards to see what it's doing. I went back 2 weeks on most of these. Vlad, Topps Chrome Refractor, Topps Chrome X-Fractor. The interesting thing here is his regular refractor is down 7%, but his X-Fractor is up 28%. Now, it's only 2 sales, but all the sales are pretty recent. So, is that just a one-off, or is that a sign of maybe his lower pops doing a little bit better? It's usually weird when usually all these cards kind of move in concert with each other to some degree or another. So we'll have to wait for a little bit more data on this, but there's some more examples of this as well. I also looked at Bo Bichette, kind of a similar situation. His base refractor is down 10%, down to 120. His pink refractor is at 105, down 10%, but his prism refractor, the fancy shiny looking one, is actually up 30% to $204. So once again, lower pop, that's 420. 1,400 and 1,200 on the other two respectively. But once again, just 2 sales. Lower pop card, they don't move quite as often. But that one is trending up. The other ones are trending down. So once again, I don't know that I'm drawing any conclusions from that. I just found it interesting. Moving right along, as we are running kind of long. Tatis. Fernando Tatis. El Nino. PSA 10s, various of his refractors. Base refractor, slightly up. And when I say slightly, I mean barely. X-Fractor, flat. Actually, only 1 is sold, so it would be flat. Pink refractor, 4 have sold, slightly up 12%. And this prism refractor, slightly down 1%. So his stuff is basically staying right there to very slowly creeping up. Like we've talked about before, this is usually the time baseball starts picking up steam. I'm wondering if it's just being slightly depressed from the fact that the market's being a little bit swingy and we have the lockout concerns. There's no hype for baseball at all, besides basically hype for them to get together to meet for 5 minutes, figure out a bagel order, and then cancel the meeting and leave. So who the hell knows what's going on with that? 2 more to look at really quickly here. Tatis and Soto first Bowman autos. Soto's been getting all the love. Tatis, I posted about this the other day. Is he getting slightly forgotten about? He had a monster season last year, even when limited at bats with the injury. And there's always going to be injury concerns with him. I really wish he had the shoulder surgery over the offseason. I'd feel a lot better about him coming into the season. But man, oh man, is he fun to watch, and man, oh man, can he hit. And that's coming from someone that loves Soto. But Tatis, his first Bowman Bowman Chrome, first Bowman Auto Chrome base, not refractor, not refractor. PSA 10 up ever so slightly, 10%, and I went back 90 days on this one because these don't sell very often. Only 5 have sold in the last 90 days, but up 10% to 5.1K. Soto, on the other hand, 8 have sold. He is up 20% from 5.7 to 6.9 thousand. And one has not sold in a couple weeks. Last one sold right before the new year. So Soto stuff continues to go up. And speaking of which, we'll close out with this. The pink, Juan Soto Pink Refractor. Much ballyhooed card on this channel. I own 2, full disclosure. This card really picked up and has been picking up. 3 have sold in the last 2 weeks. And it has consistently outsold the previous one. And this was a best offer accepted on this one. And this was another one I double checked because one had sold a couple weeks ago for a little over 1,000. Then another one went at auction for $1,250, and then this one went for $1,650. I did check on this. It was a best offer accepted, and then there are none listed cheaper. The cheapest ones listed on eBay are $2,000. So I don't know if this was someone saying, screw it, I want one of these, and just, pay the iron price for it. Or what, but there was, sometimes when you see these weird, not that it's that big of an outlier, but it is a jump in price. I like to double check and make sure that, oh wait, someone smacked bin on this, but there's 3 listed cheaper. That's fishy. This doesn't seem like that case, at least for eBay stuff. There were none listed cheaper than $19.99.99, I believe. There's a couple listed at that price. So we'll have to wait and see what the next one sells for. These do not pop up a ton. These are only pop 662. The rainbow foil, I glanced at really quick. It has stayed flat. It has not moved up, so there might be an interesting buying opportunity there if you could find one. That's an even lower pop card, and those do not come up very often either, especially for reasonable prices. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. Like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense down below, and we will catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.